Welcome to the deep dive. Today, you're joining us as we unpack a really interesting piece. It's the screenplay pilot for The Method by Jerry Bader.
Yeah, intriguing is definitely the word.
And we've got some great source material, excerpts from Bader's biography, which, wow, talk about diverse and the prologue of the Method script itself. So our mission basically is to explore this narrative setup, which is pretty gripping, but also get a sense of Jerry Bader himself. His creative range seems vast.
It really does. I mean, when you look at his bio, it's quite something. He's an author, screenwriter, senior partner at MRP Web Media.
Right.
And he specializes in noir detective stuff, the Axel Files series. People might know that.
Uh-huh.
But then he also does noir espionage and spy novels, books like Deception, Delusion, Dilemma, Diversion, Defection. That alone tells you something.
Absolutely. A real taste for suspense, intricate plots. You can see how that leads to screenwriting.
Exactly. And he doesn't stop there. There are straight-up noir crime novels, too.
Like Dead End, Ballet of Bullets, things like that.
Those are the ones. Plus, noir short collections. Quick, punchy stories.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, I think, especially for this deep dive. Hybrid graphic novels.
Yes, including the Method series itself.
So he's already working in a visual medium, blending text and image. That feels important for a screenplay writer.
Totally. It suggests a certain sensibility, maybe? A cinematic eye, perhaps? You expect strong visuals?
Yeah. But the bio keeps surprising you, doesn't it?
It really does. Because then you find out he writes biographies.
And not just any biographies. Organized crime queens.
Uh-huh. The secret world of female gangsters.
Then, completely different, What's Your Poison? How cocktails got their names.
Right. And cowboys, lawmen, and outlaws. The range is just wild.
It almost gives you whiplash. And then, okay, hold on. Children's books.
Yep, children's books. Two dragons named Shoe. The town that didn't speak.
The Criminal McBride, The Bad Puppeteer, Mr. Bumbershoot, The Umbrella Man.
The Ninth Inning. And my personal favorite title, 14 Ridiculous Tales of Sage Silliness.
It's incredible. So you have this writer who can do dark, gritty noir, complex spy stories, historical bios, cocktails, cowboys, and whimsical kid stuff.
What does that tell you, though? It suggests someone who's not afraid to experiment, right? To play with different styles, different voices.
Definitely. Maybe we'll see some of that flexibility in The Method, unexpected tones mixed in.
Could be. Maybe some dark humor hidden in the thriller.
It makes you wonder. It definitely sets the stage. He can probably play with expectations.
Okay, so with that backdrop, this incredibly versatile writer, let's dive into the screenplay itself, the opening of The Method.
Let's do it.
All right, so the script puts you right there. Parking lot. The Payne Park Tavern.
Great name.
Isn't it? It's night, it's drizzling, roads are slick, bit of fog rolling in. Classic noir feel right off the bat.
Instantly atmospheric.
And two guys come out of the tavern, Arnie Bernardo and someone just called the actor.
Okay.
Script says they're both pretty deep into their drinks, but laughing, good spirits, you know, a bit unsteady.
Right. Typical end of the night vibe. But here's the first big visual cue the script gives you. They look remarkably alike.
Oh, interesting. Identical. Or just similar.
The script emphasizes remarkably alike, and they're both wearing similar dark gray business suits.
Okay, so that's deliberate.
Yeah.
That visual mirroring right at the start, that's got to be important. Why make them look the same?
Exactly. That's the hook. So they head over to this brand new black Cadillac at the far end of the lot.
Fancy car.
Yeah. And they get in, neither bothers with the seatbelt, little detail that tells you something.
Careless. Or maybe just drunk.
And then this red warning light pops up on the dash. Airbags inoperable.
Oh, boy. That's not good.
So Arnie Bernardo's driving. He revs the engine, pulls out onto this dark country road, seems totally unfazed by the weather, the warning light.
Just wants to get going.
And the actor's trying to give directions, but the script says he's confused. Doesn't seem sure where they are.
Okay, so disorientation, heavy drinking, reckless driving, faulty car. This feels like it's building towards something bad.
Pretty much textbook setup for disaster, yeah.
Classic thriller move. You know something's coming.
Then the fog gets thicker. A bridge just sort of appears out of it.
Ah, the bridge.
Arnie yanks the wheel hard left, towards the bridge. And this Cadillac, it fishtails. Violently. On the wet road.
Scary stuff.
But Arnie, he laughs, finds it amusing, like it's a fun ride.
Wow. Okay, so he's either totally hammered or just has zero sense of danger, or both.
Yeah, that reaction is chilling, almost, given what's happening.
It really ramps up the tension. You're just waiting for the impact.
And it comes fast. He loses control completely.
Right.
The Cadillac slams into the bridge railing. Huge crunch.
And the airbags.
Don't inflate, just like the warning said.
Oh, man.
Both of them, Arnie and the actor, thrown right through the windshield.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Into the water below.
Into the water, and the car is left, just teetering there, mangled, hanging over the edge.
What a visual.
Yeah.
Shocking. Brutal.
Yeah. That airbag detail pays off immediately and horribly.
So that's the initial crash.
Yeah.
But it gets worse, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's not over. Just as you're taking that in, headlights appear, coming down the road.
Oh, no.
It's a farmer driving this big, overloaded egg truck, heading to the early market.
Egg truck?
An egg truck. And the script makes a point of saying he's distracted.
How?
Texting, fumbling with his phone while steering this heavy truck. Doesn't see the Cadillac hanging there.
Oh, that's awful. So mundane, but so deadly.
Smash! The truck plows right into the wrecked Cadillac.
Oh, my God.
Instant explosion, huge fireball. The burning Cadillac hangs there for a second.
I think out of a movie.
And then it just drops, plunges into the water and sinks. Gone.
Wow. Just gone. What about the farmer?
He's stunned, horrified. Climbs out of his damaged truck, looks at the mess. Burning car parts, and the script mentions this specifically. Scrambled eggs everywhere.
Scrambled eggs, that's quite an image. Visceral. Surreal.
Yeah. And then he hears another car coming.
Right.
He panics, thinks about being involved, the police. So he jumps back in his damaged truck and just takes off. Flees the scene.
Doesn't want any part of it. Can't entirely blame him, I guess, in his panic.
So now the scene is quiet again. Just the wreckage, the smell. In the water. One man is floating. Face down. Unconscious.
One man. What about the other one?
Vanished? Sunk with the car, maybe? Unclear.
Okay.
Then, the survivor. He starts to stir. Gasps for air. Manages to struggle towards the shore.
He makes it.
Just barely. Pulls himself onto the muddy bank and collapses. Out cold again.
Incredible survival.
Yeah.
But which one is he? Arnie? Or the actor?
Good question. The script doesn't say yet. Leaves you hanging.
Deliberately ambiguous.
Then that other vehicle the farmer heard, it arrives. It's a fisherman. Just a guy heading out early.
Finds quite a scene.
Yeah. Sees the mess on the bridge, the smell. Then he spots the body on the shore.
The survivor.
Right. He goes closer, checks on him. And then amongst the debris near the water, he sees a license plate. Banged up, but readable.
What does it say?
Arnie B.
Arnie B. Okay. So Arnie Bernardo's plate.
Looks like it. So the fisherman grabs his phone, calls 911, reports the crash, says there's a survivor, probably Arnie Bernardo based on the plate.
So the initial report identifies the survivor as Arnie. But given the setup, you have to wonder.
You definitely have to wonder. That mistaken identity possibility hangs heavy.
So the authorities arrive.
Scene changes. Next morning, Payne Park Bridge is swarming. CHPMAAT team, the major accident investigation team.
The pros.
Yeah, they're doing their thing. Photos, measurements, collecting bits of wreckage. An ambulance leaves, taking the survivor, presumably.
Right.
Then an unmarked car pulls up. Out step Detective Joe Grist and Detective Velma Dime.
Homicide.
But
Already.
it seems like it, or at least investigating suspicious circumstances. Grist is described as handsome, sharp dresser. Dime, attractive, practical black slacks, white shirt, black leather jacket. And she's carrying a Beretta 92 FS, visibly.
Okay, so they mean business, not just traffic comms.
Definitely not. Their first interaction is with the lead MAIT guy, Sergeant Martinez.
And how does that go?
Not well. Martinez is immediately prickly, antagonistic towards Grist, kind of dismissive of Dime.
Ah, jurisdictional friction. Classic.
Totally. Martinez is making sarcastic comments like, what brings homicide down to a simple traffic accident? That kind of thing.
Standard procedure maybe, but still creates tension.
Yeah. So, while Grist and Martinez are kind of sparring verbally, Dime does her own thing.
Smart move.
She just quietly starts walking the scene, looking at the debris field. Very methodical.
She seems like the observant one. While the guy's posture.
Seems that way. Grist is trying to get info. Martinez is stonewalling. Meanwhile, Dime spots something.
What?
The smashed license plate.
The same one the fisherman found.
Yep. She checks quietly with another MIT investigator nearby. The survivor, identified as Bernardo, the investigator nods.
Confirmation.
Then she pulls out her phone, snaps a quick picture of the plate, discreetly.
Good thinking. Documenting it herself.
Then she walks back over to Grist, who's still getting nowhere with Martinez. She shows Grist the photo on her phone.
What does she say?
Just asks quietly, any sign of other bodies?
Cutting right to it. Is there a second victim?
Martinez overhears, jumps in all annoyed. "We haven't dredged anyone up yet, detective. You'll be the first to know." Still calling it an accident scene.
Dismissive, trying to keep control.
Grist pushes back, asks about the rest of the car parts. Martinez basically tells them both to beat it. Wait for the report, don't contaminate his scene.
So, Grist and Dime are hitting a wall with the initial investigator, but Dime suspects more and has documented the key piece of ID found so far.
Exactly. Leaves you wondering, who was the other person? And where are they?
Big questions hanging. Okay, where does the script go next?
Complete change of pace, total shift, scene change, title card. The loser.
Okay.
We're in an audition waiting room full of hopeful actors. We focus on one guy just called the actor.
Ah, the actor.
Yeah.
From The Crash. Or another actor.
Well, the script calls him the actor. He's out of work, looks kind of down on his luck. But the description says he has a knack for impersonations.
Interesting skill.
So he's sitting there, waiting. He calls his agent, Seymour Kratz, gets the receptionist.
Standard actor stuff.
Yeah, but the receptionist casually mentions Seymour's out to lunch with his new girlfriend, Claire.
Claire.
Okay. And hearing the name Claire, it visibly hits the actor. He looks distressed.
Okay, so that name means something to him. This isn't just random scene setting.
Doesn't seem like it. Anyway, he finally gets called in for his audition. Looks pretty dejected.
Understandable.
He does his monologue. Then the casting director asks him, "Do you do impressions?"
The skill the script mentioned.
Yep. He rattles off a list with Walken, De Niro, Pacino, Depp, Bogart. The people in the room seem intrigued.
Okay, so maybe this is his chance.
He performs the monologue again, but this time he keeps shifting between those voices. Seamlessly. Everyone's impressed, laughing, nodding. Looks like he nailed it.
Great, shows his talent.
But then the casting director, despite loving the impressions, says, "Thanks, but we're not looking for funny."
What? But they asked for impressions.
I know, that's the punchline, I guess. The actor is just baffled, confused, rejected because of the thing they seemed excited about.
Ouch. That's brutal.
Hollywood, huh?
Pretty much sums up the cruelty of it sometimes. Poor guy.
So professional life is rough. What happens next?
It gets worse. Way worse.
Yeah.
He goes home, presumably looking for some comfort.
Yeah.
And finds his apartment completely empty.
Empty, like robbed.
No, like emptied.
Yeah.
Furniture gone, possessions gone, everything except his own clothes and maybe a few bits and pieces.
Whoa, what happened?
There's a note on the mantelpiece.
Uh-oh.
We hear it in voiceover. It's from Claire.
The Claire, his agent's new girlfriend.
The very same. She's left him. And not just left him. She's left him for Seymour, his agent.
No, that's devastating.
The note is brutal. Had enough. You're never going to make it. Don't love you anymore. I love Seymour.
Wow. Double betrayal. Girlfriend and agent. That's rock bottom.
Pretty much. And he realizes those recent auditions Seymour sent him on, probably bogus. Just ways for Seymour to get time with Claire. That adds another layer of humiliation. Just awful.
He's reeling, thinking about how agents are untrustworthy, how Claire took everything down to the bed.
Everything. Still everything. So his next thought is panic money.
Right.
He rushes to the bank. Too late. Claire was there that morning, cleaned out their joint accounts, gave some flimsy excuse to the teller.
Oh, man. So he's heartbroken, betrayed, homeless, and broke.
Utterly, completely screwed. He gets in his car, just drives. No idea where he's going, just numb with despair. Ends up somewhere unfamiliar, dark, hasn't eaten.
He's hit absolute zero.
Then he sees a sign, through the gloom. Payne Park Tavern Steak and Jazz every Thursday night.
Payne Park Tavern, where Arnie Bernardo hangs out.
The very place. He pulls in, checks his wallet. He's got about $100 left to his name.
Just enough for what?
Food and booze. That's his thought. He needs both. Desperately. So he walks into the tavern.
The complete stranger.
And is immediately greeted like royalty. Big smiles, warm welcome. Like they know him. Like he's a regular. A VIP. Ah, the mistaken identity begins. Because he looks like Arnie Bernardo.
Exactly. It starts immediately. He's totally confused, but probably too miserable to question it too much right now.
So they treat him like Arnie. What happens inside?
He gets ushered to a prime table in this, upscale jazz place. Way nicer than he's probably used to.
Right.
A waitress comes over straight away, brings him a vodka Collins.
Which he didn't order.
Nope. But he just takes it. Another waitress comes by, flirts a bit, does a Bogart impression.
And he plays along. Even now.
Surprisingly, yeah. He does a Bacall back at her.
Yeah.
Effortlessly. That actor instinct, maybe. Even has this cynical thought, like, every waitress in L.A. is a wannabe actress.
Huh. Even in his despair, the performer is there.
Yeah.
And the vodka Collins.
Yeah.
That must be Arnie's regular drink.
Seems likely. The mistaken identity is getting solidified. He's fitting the role without even trying.
Okay, so he's sitting there being treated like Arnie. How long does this go on?
About 15 minutes. He's just sipping the drink, maybe listening to the jazz. Then the real Arnie Bernardo walks in.
Dun, dun, dun. The moment of truth.
Pretty much. The whole place goes quiet. The hostess looks horrified, realizes the mistake. She rushes over to the actor's table, stammering apologies. Mr. Bernardo's table.
Awkward.
Just then, Arnie himself arrives at the table, and he just stops, sees the actor, sees his own face staring back at him, drinking his usual drink.
What's his reaction? Anger? Confusion?
Shock, definitely.
Yeah.
But then amusement. He starts to laugh.
Laugh. Okay, didn't expect that.
Yeah, finds the whole thing hilarious. This guy who looks exactly like him is sitting at his table drinking his drink.
Takes it surprisingly well.
He walks up, introduces himself, orders another round for both of them, just rolls with it.
Wow. So they meet, the two doppelgangers.
Yep. And they spend the evening together, drinking, listening to the jazz, joking about how crazy the resemblance is.
So instead of conflict, they bond over it.
Seems like it. And for the actor, it's this weird escape. For a few hours, he forgets the empty apartment, Claire, Seymour, the bank account. He's just this guy hanging out with his double in a cool jazz bar.
A surreal night, a temporary reprieve from rock bottom.
Exactly. But of course, the night has to end.
Right. They've been drinking heavily.
Yeah. It gets late, like 1:30 a.m. Arnie notices the actor is pretty wasted, says, "You're in no shape to drive," offers him a lift home.
In the black Cadillac.
In the black Cadillac. So they leave the tavern, head out into the drizzle and fog again.
Oh boy, here we go.
Get in the car. Don't bother with seatbelts. That airbag's inoperable light glows. Arnie just shrugs it off. Gotta get that serviced.
Deja vu. It's like the whole beginning is playing out again, but now we know both characters.
Exactly. They pull out onto the dark road. Arnie's driving, still drunk, foggy. He gets confused about the turnoff. Says something about needing to find the bridge.
The bridge?
And there it is, looming out of the fog. Arnie makes that same sharp left turn.
No.
The Cadillac fishtails. Violently, just like before.
Does he laugh again?
He laughs again. Still finds it thrilling, not terrifying.
Until it's too late.
Until it's too late. Loses control. Slams into the railing.
Airbags fail.
Airbags fail. Both men ejected through the windshield.
Into the water.
Into the water. The exact same crash sequence.
Unbelievable. It replays the prologue almost exactly.
It really does. So that's the setup. The prologue and the backstory all converging in this repeated disaster.
Wow. Okay. So we're left with the crash scene again. But now we know the context. We know the actor's desperation, the mistaken identity, the eerie connection formed just hours before.
Right. You've seen the whole setup now. The car crash, the two identical men, the fateful meeting at the Payne Park Tavern fueled by that mistaken identity, or, maybe it wasn't just mistaken identity by the end, was something else forming.
That's a chilling thought.
Yeah.
And it leaves you, the listener, right at the heart of the mystery. You've seen how Bader constructed this opening.
So the big question hangs there, doesn't it? The survivor pulled from the water. Is it Arnie Bernardo, the successful guy whose license plate was found?
Or is it the actor, the desperate man with nothing left to lose, who suddenly finds himself in a situation where he could potentially become someone else?
Could he seize that? Could this accident be an opportunity, a terrifying, dangerous opportunity?
Yeah, what are the implications if it is the actor? It throws everything into question. Identity, fate, deception. These themes just explode right from these opening scenes.
Definitely. It's a powerful opening. Makes you think about who we are, who we could be, and what happens when those lines blur, especially in the face of chaos and maybe, just maybe, a chance for a completely different life.
A lot to chew on. A really compelling setup from Jerry Bader in The Method. Leaves you wondering where it could possibly go next.